Do you know the name of the black kid that was his bully?
What?
Abraham Clinkscales. That's a fucking D&D name of a dragonborn. Oh, we in.
You okay, dude?
My voice is weird right now.
Yeah?
I think I might have like a cold or something.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Like you're a little.
I just took some
stuffed
Dayquil,
up.
so we'll see if that combats it. Or I think it was off-brand Dayquil, but we're not plugging Dayquil until they sponsor.
Until they sponsor the podcast.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Chris and Kyle show. Spoiler time. I guess this is the bonus episode, or maybe I guess Aladdin is the bonus episode. You already saw Aladdin, but when this comes out, it's like round 2 spoiler episode of the week. We're talking about Brightburn. Brightburn, aka what if Clark Kent was an asshole? You want to start? You wanna? What'd you think?
Okay, so I'm gonna guess how you feel about this movie.
Okay.
Right? So I think that the idea of this movie obviously intrigues you, but this is also the kind of horror movie that you don't like.
Kind of. There were things about it I liked.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you like?
I love the premise is great. I think that the premise like outpaces the execution of the premise a little bit.
For sure.
Like there's some really cool stuff in this movie. Like miss me with that glass in the eye scene. Oh my god, that was disgusting.
I was cringing.
That was disgusting.
Yeah.
But I was like really entertained. You know,
I was cringing in a good way.
You were like, oh,
look
gross.
directly at
like
the screen.
the Dwight brothers' jaw coming off was like there was some like cool gross stuff.
Right.
And you could really get like that's that. I guess just the Gunn family loves gore.
It was like surprise. Like, did the R rating kind of sneak up on you a little bit?
No.
Okay, so like throughout while I was watching the movie, like I heard the fucks occasionally, like, and there was language, and I was like, this movie is basically just like a PG-13 movie, with like the R-rated language, and then all of that violence started happening, and it was just like
well,
really
I mean that's
fucked
kind
up,
of to be
gory
expected though with the premise, right?
What?
Because they're trying. This is actually something I wish they did more of.
Okay.
I wish that they spent more time making us think this was a movie about Clark Kent.
Yeah.
I wish that was like the movie starts out with creepy music. Like they right off the bat, they're like, "Oh, this is a horror movie," and we're not even going to try to subvert the fact that that coming into this.
Right.
Like, I wish they did. I wish that there was more of like him being happy in his family and like the storyline with the girl. Like, there's just like that one little scene where she like smiles at him. Like,
I wish there was more of an emotional connection
AKA
to Brandon's character.
Not Lana Lang.
Yeah.
And not Clark Kent.
So I thought about this throughout the entire movie.
He needed his own Pete.
Yeah.
He needed his own Pete. He needed a friend.
A friend.
If he like fucked up a friend, like someone that we were like, oh, he likes this kid.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been brutal.
Uh-huh.
Oh man.
Well, and there's so many scenes in this movie that I'm like, this could be so much better if they had established his character a little bit more, and we gotten to actually connect with him a little bit more.
Yeah.
And if they delayed those horror elements until like maybe even halfway through the second act.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We
like,
spent
you can get away with
we
that.
spent way more time establishing Elizabeth Banks than we did the kid, Brandon Breyer, the character Brandon Breyer.
Right.
By the way, we haven't said this movie is like a Gunn family project. James Gunn produced it. His cousin and brother wrote it, and their friend David Yarovesky directed it. Just throw that out there. Did you like the kid? I thought the kid was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, he was fine. I just I just think that we didn't get enough of an opportunity to see him before he got brainwashed by an alien spaceship.
Yeah, like I mean, I think more of it. I think like what they were kind of showing more than he was just being brainwashed. I think like it was like
it was programmed in him or something like that.
Yeah, it's like in his nature to do this.
Take the world.
To take the world. Yeah.
Take the world.
And like the alien spaceship kind of just revealed that inner nature.
Oh God, I was gonna say something and then it completely.
Okay, so you know what I thought of a lot when I was watching this movie?
What?
Chronicle.
Really?
I thought of Chronicle, like, because I was like, man, if they just had like a little 10% of Chronicle, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I see what you
mean. Because you can have, because because like Chronicle didn't really have any horror elements. Like it was mostly just tragic.
There's
It was,
scary
like,
shit though.
there is scary shit.
But it's mostly just Dane DeHaan being terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like brought in. It like he doesn't turn into a horrifying character. It's mostly just like tragic, which is what that movie needed, right?
Yeah.
But I think you could still spin that in a way to where like he becomes a really horrifying character, right? And I wish that this movie had a little bit of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like where you had some hope that Brandon was going to be a Clark Kent.
I wanted them to like that should have been the thing they established from the beginning, is that this kid had the potential to be Clark Kent because of the way he was raised and his loving family and the traditional Smallville story. Oh, by the way, this movie's called Brightburn, and it's because it's like a direct ripoff of calling a Superman movie or show Smallville. The town is called Brightburn.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a ridiculous name for a town.
Brightburn?
Brightburn? That's a supervillain name. I remember the thing I was going to say, and it kind of ties into what you just said. There's a once we get past the Brandon is evil inherently thing, and we like now we're just watching him fuck people up.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that in his personal life we could see like how sadistic he was a little bit more. Like he's very emotionless in his personal life, and he's just kind of lying to his parents a lot.
Right.
Like when his uncle dies, he's just like doesn't react. He's like, do you want me to cry? But when he's like killing people, he does it in the most like over the top way. He's like purpose, like he could just fuck up anybody in a millisecond if he wanted. Yeah. But he like flies around and scares people. And it's like, I understand that this is a horror movie, so you're doing it to scare people, to scare the audience. But that should be a part of who he is if that's how he's going to act. You know what I mean? If he's like sadistically terrifying everyone right before he murders them, and taking his time with these things, I want to see that in his character a little bit more.
Yeah,
too.
like that. There's like some kind of playground aspect to him causing like all of this to him because like
why does he have to keep sneaking into his aunt's backyard?
The reasoning that the kid had behind it was that he was superior to everyone, which is like
that was kind of a cool line when I liked that part. I forget the specific interaction, but when he, I think it was his aunt in the counseling session, right? Yeah. And he was like, I know that I'm something superior. But she thought he was talking about just like, because he's adopted. So she thought he was like, thought his parents were like, I don't know, rich or something. Right. Or like from the city. I don't know.
He was just being racist.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you don't really see like any example of like why he would be like really fucking around with these people. And I think like,
yeah, where does he jump from take the world to be like a sadistic murderer?
And I think the movie, for the most part, they're not trying to do that. They're very much just trying to make a genre film.
Oh yeah,
out of
like the intention of this movie is very much just to be like, it's like they said, whoa, wait, what if we made a horror Superman movie? And they were like, all right, let's just do cool scenes where like the kid would fuck people up. Yeah, and let's be spooky and put gross glass in the eye. Ugh.
Yeah, that was a fucked up scene. Like
you know,
I couldn't.
Very early in the movie, I knew we were gonna have a scene where at least one of the parents was gonna have to kill the kid. And I was like, that's gonna be good. Yeah, like that's something that they're gonna be able to earn. Right. They had two of them, and I actually think I liked. I liked David Denham's a lot. Denman. I don't know why that's hard for me to say.
Roy from The Office.
Yeah, Roy from The Office. Like when he took him hunting, and like you knew he was doing it to murder that kid. And then
as soon as he said that he was taking him hunting, I was like, oh, he's gonna kill that kid.
He's gonna try to kill that fucking kid in the woods, and it's not gonna work out for him. Nope. He fucking blasted his brains out.
Like, so like that moment of him trying to kill his son, and then the son being like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, it was an interesting scene in the movie. You know what I mean? Like, because I've never really seen anything like that before. You know what I mean? Because it's such a weird thing to have in a movie where like a parent tries to kill his own kid for whatever reason, and then for whatever reason it doesn't work out.
And then the parent is scared of the kid.
But like in a movie like this, like that scene should be turned up to fucking 11.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it should be like built up throughout the entire movie, right?
Yeah, they're like almost like they needed more tension between them as characters.
More tension. I wanted more heartbreak. You know what I mean? Like this movie.
It's like everything was there a little bit. There was some of that.
This movie, like one of the reasons why I think that a lot of people don't like horror movies and they don't like movies like this, right? The movies like Brightburn, is because that they do like a genre thing, right? It happens in action movies, it happens in horror movies, where they hit certain beats and they go through the motions of trying to get you to connect with a character, right? Like how many, like if you were making a drinking game with this movie, fucking, there should be a little stipulation that says you need to take a shot every time one of the parents touches the kid's head.
Yeah.
Fucking every time that there's a slow moment and they're trying to show the parent connecting with the kid, they're like tussing up his hair.
Yeah, or,
and it,
or like rubbing his cheek.
Yeah, and there was no real, like, the only scene that I like actually really enjoyed. I liked it because it was weird and like it almost like seems like something that would happen in real life, and it also set up a
Can I guess?
Go ahead.
Is it right after he gets his powers when he goes to the girl's room after having the talk with his dad?
Yes.
Yeah, that was.
So
I was
the
like,
talk with his
I was
dad.
like, this can get so weird when his dad is like, it's cool to play with it sometimes.
Right.
I was like, oh god, he's gonna do some weird shit, and the kid's like right now. Like there's like some actual like really funny moments in this movie. Like that scene is funny.
Yeah, like the right now moment is like you could. I can visualize a kid saying that in the moment because he's like fucking confused and he doesn't understand. So I found that moment funny, but it's also like because of who Brendan Breyer is and because of the implications of his powers, like it's funny and it's also terrifying. And I wanted more of that.
Yeah.
I wanted like more of like, okay, like this person is by his nature, like we're going to set out from at the end of this movie, Brendan Breyer is going to fuck up a lot of people and it's going to be awful.
Like Chronicle.
Yeah, like Chronicle. But like Chronicle is he like we're not spoiling Chronicle.
True.
Anyways,
It's been a long time since Chronicle came out, though.
Through the motions when it comes to these emotional, and it seemed, and like even the rhythm, like the pacing of it in the first act, it was just like, okay, now we got a horror scene, now we got the connection scene, now we got a horror scene, now we got the connection scene, like it was just back and forth, and I was just like, this can be done better. Yeah, and like I think it's a problem that's pretty common amongst most
it's
genre
like
films.
like this is not a bad movie.
No,
it's a perfectly fine good movie, but it's like it could have been so much better. Is like its biggest failure is that how much better it could have been. Yeah,
but it's a fine movie. I wouldn't like say it's good. Like there's like specific things that are cool about it. But yeah, it kind of goes through the motions a little bit too much.
You know what I would have liked to see after that initial scene that you're talking about, so he has to talk with his dad in the woods.
Yeah.
And then he super speeds back to the town and he creeps on that girl.
Yep.
But he plays like a love, like it's weird. He plays like a love song on the computer. He thinks he's doing something he's okay with doing, like that is an okay thing to do.
Right.
And I wish they leaned into that stuff more. I wish they leaned into him like conflicting with himself. Right? Like he very quickly, like basically there's that scene when he scares the girl and then he disappears. He doesn't do anything because the mom comes in the room. And then when he breaks her hand at school because she calls him a pervert, from that point on, he has no conflict with what he's doing. He's completely like his only hitch in the giddy up is like him not wanting his parents to know. And I think more than that, it's really just him not wanting his mom to know more than anything. I wish there was like more, like you could have done like a really good thing with that girl where like she could have like confronted him and he could have like lied to her and been like, oh no, that didn't. And then like you could have done like a really tragic thing where they like developed a friendship or something.
Oh yeah.
Like there's so much more they could have done. Lana Lang. Her mom was a bitch though.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean,
But like even,
I would probably
even before he broke her hand, I mean, like at the restaurant, she was a bitch. She like rolled her eyes like because they were having fun.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
Yeah, she was their waitress.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you know the name of that restaurant is Rainn Wilson's character from Super's last name?
What? What's the name?
It's
of
a
the restaurant?
cinematic universe, dog.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
It's in the-
at the end when Michael Rooker makes his cameo as fucking what's his name? The frogs are gonna think I'm gay. That guy.
Is that who
he's
playing?
clearly doing a parody of that dude,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
That's what it seems like, at least. Or they're
I thought it was
turning
more of
they're
just
turning
like
the frogs gay.
I thought it was more of like just a generic character.
Yeah,
like
it kind
that,
of is.
You know?
It kind of,
Yeah.
but like that's who I thought of. That
Okay.
that dude. One of the pictures he shows is Rainn Wilson's character from Super when he's talking about different super creatures.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So like
I've never
I
seen
was just
Super.
reading online.
Super's
like,
also super violent, right?
Super is insanely violent. Super is fucking crazy movie.
Is it more violent than Brightburn?
I think it is because like in Brightburn you expect it,
Okay.
whereas like the tone of Super is so insane and fucked up, and Ellen Page is nuts. That movie's crazy.
Okay.
Have you not seen it?
No, I haven't.
Oh really? It's a fucking. I don't know if I would watch Super again. Like it's worth watching once for sure, but I don't know if I would watch that movie again. It's fucking wild. Made me feel like really uncomfortable watching it.
Are they? Is that what they're trying to do? So like they showed all of these different characters.
So like they basically were like, if this movie does well, we can do like they talk about like a half man, half sea creature haunting the oceans. I think in that Michael Rooker's ranting about, and like a witch who strangles people or something. And they basically were like, we could make like a fun, offbeat superhero universe with like these weird. Because Super's not like a horror movie. Super is. If you made the skeleton of Super, it's like a hero's journey, but it's just super fucked up. And Rainn Wilson's character is like pathetic. And it's just really like it's like sad and weird and fucked up and gross.
Yeah.
So like, you know, if they wanted to make like a weird, not Aquaman movie, whatever this half sea creature, half man thing is, they would find ways to do like a weird take on it, similar to how this is like a nega Superman movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, that Rainn Wilson's character's superpower is that he can take infinite punishment. It's not that he like doesn't feel pain, I think, like Kick-Ass, but it's that he just like can just keep taking it without stop. I think. I might be wrong. I saw it a long time ago, but I remember him just getting the fucking shit beat out of him all the time. And it's like but he just keeps fighting. It's super weird.
Yeah. I wish there was like going back to that scene where Brandon is like messing with that girl,
Creeping on her?
I wish there was kind of like more of that, and like that like there was just
More of the human side of him, like trying to rationalize this alien side of him that he's never experienced.
Well, but like, and just seeing like how someone going through puberty, that has like, because like in Smallville you see the light side of that,
Bruh,
right?
I saw a clip on the internet this somebody brought up of the first time Clark got heat vision in Smallville.
Yeah.
And it's because his teacher's super hot.
Yeah.
It's fucking silly as shit.
Yeah, it's silly, but like,
Yeah.
you know, it's
It's
fucking,
great.
It's tied to puberty, and you're seeing like how puberty would, like a superhero going through puberty would deal with it, and the complications that are arising out of it. Right now, like I would like to see like the fucked up side of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if Clark Kent like rationalized like really kind of fucked up, creepy behaviors. Yeah.
I would say this movie's worth watching.
I'd recommend it for
Yeah.
like a certain kind of person. Yeah.
Like even I wasn't like, oh, can this movie end? And like, you know how I feel about horror movies.
Yeah.
But it also like ties into things I really do enjoy. Oh my God, my throat. I feel like I sound like a crazy person right now. Like I feel like my voice is like much deeper than usual.
I don't think you sound like a crazy person.
I'm not crazy, but like I just feel like I sound way different.
Yeah.
This is an elaborate hoax. Kyle is not here. I am an actor playing him. I don't quite have the
Welcome
voice
Michael
right.
Rooker to the show, everyone.
That'd be fucking awesome. If you ever get the opportunity to get Michael Rooker instead of me, do it. Fucking do it. Mary Poppins, y'all.
How often do you think that he gets that?
All the time. Like at
Yeah.
cons, I'm sure it's just constant.
Yeah.
That's like the defining line of that character by the end of the second movie. It like encapsulates is a weird word.
It's just such a good joke.
It's fucking amazing. And there's
joke.
it's funny because like there's so many of that same joke in those movies. Like Kevin Bacon is a hero like Kevin Bacon. Is Footloose still the best movie ever? These jokes where they like twist this idea of what's cool in pop culture in Quill's mind because of the era that he was on Earth, and then they twist it into like these weird space jokes. But like that one specifically is so good. I'm married because like that dude embracing that nickname and that like thing, that title
is
so silly.
Was the joke fucking Star-Lord going, is Footloose still the best movie
That's
ever?
That's in Avengers.
Right. But
Infinity War.
And then someone says, was it ever
No,
the best movie ever?
Peter Parker says it never was.
Oh, it never was, yeah.
Somebody's like, Mantis makes a joke about Kevin. She says, we're like Kevin Bacon. And then Peter goes, like from Footloose or something like that. And then Peter's like, is it still the best movie of all time? And Peter's like, it never was. Just FYI, we are less than a month away from Spider-Man. Did you realize that?
Yeah, I saw it. So the
fucking hype.
Fucking AMC has like blue and red popcorn. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah. Apparently, it's really bad.
Really?
Yeah.
I kind of want to try it.
Don't do it. It's not worth it.
It's just vanilla.
It's not worth it. What do they charge you? Like an extra $5?
Oh, I have no idea.
Probably.
If it's an extra $5, hell no. That's not much.
We haven't mentioned much about Elizabeth Banks. I thought she was probably like the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
she's also kind of like the main character of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Which I think they sort of knew that. They were like, okay, if, Brandon ends up being... I think this was what their thought process was. I think they were like, this is fucking wild speculation. but I think they were like, okay, well, Brandon's going to end up being like the creature. He's going to be the monster in the house for this movie, right? So we need our leading person has to be someone besides him.
Yeah. I think it would have been better if it wasn't that way. It would have been like way more tragic.
Mm-hmm. If Brandon
was the main character of the movie, yeah.
That is fucking way tougher, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Tougher.
Way tougher. Yeah. Yeah, that's very it's very cookie cutter the way they kind of go through the storyline.
Something more than a genre of film. Yeah, not as much cookie cutter in order to execute that kind of premise.
You know what I was kind of bummed that never made a comeback? Like the fact that when he first gets mad at David Denman, whose name is Kyle in the movie, by the way, good name. He gets mad at him at his birthday for not letting him keep the gun that his uncle got him. I thought that was going to make some kind of comeback. I don't know how. I don't know if he was going to like use the gun to kill him or something crazy. It just never came up again. It was like, I thought that would be something that made a comeback.
Yeah, it was like the gun was just a plot device.
Yeah, it was just like, we're just going to show him lash out. Yeah.
Yeah.
The whistling, I knew. Like the very beginning of it's so obvious. They're like, I was like, one, that's a super creepy thing to do with your kid, whistle like that.
Yep.
That's weird. Like I know that's going to come back in a horror element later in the movie.
I was like, as soon as that whistle happened, I was like, that's going to come back at the end of the movie when he's chasing her and he's going to whistle. I fucking knew that. Was
and I think because it was so transparent, it didn't land really well.
No.
Like when that happened, I was like, yep, there it is.
It's like, yeah.
What was like the scene that like where I had the biggest visceral emotional reaction was the scene at the diner when he murdered the mom because of the eye.
Yeah, I couldn't look at the screen. Like
I made myself do it. I made myself.
Dude, I was
props to that lady. She took it like a champ. She was like ripping that thing out of her. She like barely screamed. She's got a fucking high pain tolerance.
Yeah.
That was hardcore.
Impressive.
First, and also, I just feel like if you ever get a piece of glass stuck in your eye, you shouldn't take it out yourself.
Yeah.
That seems like the wrong reaction.
Yeah.
Go to the hospital. Let them handle it.
Yeah.
Maybe they can save your eye. Probably not, but maybe.
Oh, the worst fucking thing.
Brutal.
Ugh.
Brutal. Did you like the way they did the effect after with the red? So like,
Oh yeah, that was.
I thought it was interesting looking, and they kept putting him in the red side.
Exactly, because he knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like, again, he's sadistic.
Uh huh.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie. If you like, I would say if you like horror movies, you'll probably like it. It follows like the regular tropes of a horror movie.
If you like Smallville, I would recommend it.
I was gonna say, like, if you like superhero stuff, or if you really like the subversion of superhero stuff, you'd probably like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you feel like a Deadpool fan would like this movie?
Yeah.
Generally, I think.
Yeah.
Even though it's not really a Deadpool.
For the most part, yeah.
It's not tonally a Deadpool
even
movie,
more
but
than
it's
like
that
a normal
subversion.
Smallville fan, like I would say Deadpool fans on the whole, like the majority of Deadpool fans would enjoy this more than a majority of Smallville.
That's what I think. All right. I think that wraps it up.
Yep.
I think that's all we got to say about Brightburn. I'll be back next week, so we'll have a regular episode. And
Kyle has to look at the calendar.
The poll winners next week. Whatever wins our poll will be next week's episode.
Wait, hold on. So we have this episode releasing.
As of recording,
All right.
we will be releasing. Tomorrow will be Dark Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Monday will be Aladdin, and next Thursday will be this. So then the Thursday after that will be the poll winner between The Dead Don't Die and Men in Black International.
Okay.
So stay tuned. You have already, if you are a loyal listener, have already heard those episodes I just talked about. But because, we don't just like record them as we don't do them live or anything. We are recording these in a weird order because I'm going out of town. And Chris is confused. Don't worry. It's all written on the calendar for
Thanks.
you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so we'll be back next week for a regular episode on Monday and then our poll winner on Thursday. Find Chris, chrismichaelstott.com on his website. Read his scripts, Chris Michael Stott on Instagram. Find me, Davinwell25 on Twitter and Instagram. Find the show, The Chris and Kyle Show, on all podcasting platforms, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, tcaks pod on Twitter. You can find the poll on Twitter and on Facebook. I think that's it. We out.
Stay weird.